Asher, what do you think? How'd I do with this rake? Huh? Does it look good? Good morning, everyone. So this morning, before I even get started on chores, I wanted to go over a couple things. One, I had someone that was nice enough to actually drop off some old brewer's grain, and even this morning looks like many of the animals haven't finished up the portions that I threw out to them. So that's one of the reasons why I'm not too concerned with starting up the chores just yet. That, and it's still pretty early comparatively from when I usually start. But if you can hear that in the background, we have a new member on the farm. So the same person that dropped off that brewer's grain, thank you, Oliver, was also looking to rehome a dwarf goat. I had been talking for well over a year about getting a goat here just for weed control. So I've got all these burn up weeds that are just everywhere, and what happens is they'll just dry out and they'll just blow wherever. So the idea is for those weeds and some other weeds as well, that get something that can actually eat that and then deposit it in a more usable medium. Goat poop. He's not quite a year old from what they were telling me. But the other thing is all these little mesquite trees that pop up everywhere. If those are not kept in check, those will get to be way too numerous, because my pigs eat the pods, the seed pods, and then when they poop it out, it causes it to actually germinate, and I'll have all these little saplings everywhere. And the wild rabbits, there he is. Hey. Yeah? I haven't fed him yet today. He's actually been banded, so there's no, like, shouldn't be real aggressive or shouldn't have any issues with smell or anything like that like you do with billy goats. So he does have a little bit of a funky odor right now, but that should, thank you, that should wear off here before too long. This is like the third or fourth day since it originally rained, and we got a good long steady rain last night. There's actually a good saturation right now. So what I'm gonna do, and I can kind of see where I had raked before, it's starting to even settle again. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a plastic bag over the seat so I don't get my butt wet this morning. And this is before chores or anything. I'm gonna go out there and try to maximize the moisture that's in the ground right now, and try to drag this field a little bit more and see how it does. I might put some concrete weight on this rake here too and see how it does digging, if it digs any deeper. But here we go. right, so I did a couple of passes. One I did unbroken ground, place I haven't drug at all yet, and then when I came back around the second time, I went over a couple of areas that I already had drugged the other day. So what I'm going to do now is add a little bit of weight, and then we'll go around and see if it digs in any better. All right, so hopefully this doesn't drag too much. I'm gonna take it slow here and see if this can be used this way. Alright, so I'm going to show you some of the results with just putting this scrap piece of concrete that I already had laying around. Obviously, the weeds that I've got are somewhat of a problem. They keep piling up on the tongue there of the rake, and that causes it to kind of ride up on the soil. But I'm actually really happy with this. So this is the stuff that I drug after the first rain. Wasn't serious rain, and this was no weight added, and obviously it's settled a little bit from being in the rain. And then here's what we have with the weight on it and the second rain, and that's going down about 1.5 inches or so. And like I said, the idea, and it's actually, I can see there's a bunch of bugs and stuff that are starting to come up to the surface. So the idea with this rake for my application here has always been that I would come through and I'd basically score this top layer of soil. And to do this, I'm gonna have to make several passes back and forth. It's probably gonna be more like a check pattern when the day is done. But I wanted to really test to see if this was even feasible. And then once it's loosened up, I'll come through and I'll scatter at least a portion of this with a variety of dry land and drought tolerant grasses. And the reason I'm using that is because I don't want to have to irrigate this all the time. Now, I might do some supplemental irrigation just to get it, to try to help get it started, or I may do 2 separate patches and irrigate one and leave the other one natural and just kind of see how they vary. But like I said, this is my 3/4 acre pasture right here, which is immediately, it's adjacent to my largest hog pen, so I can let them out in here. And then behind me here is my 2-acre pasture, and then on the other side over there is actually the 4.5 acre pasture. Now the 4.5 acre pasture has a lot of mesquite trees on it, so that one I probably would I might only drag up to half of it, I would say, and the rest of it I would leave as just scrub, mesquite, and all that stuff. But yeah, I would say that's at least an encouraging start. And I think with playing around with different weights or securing this particular weight, this actually seemed to work pretty good on the front of the tongue. Didn't slide around too much, but maybe strapping it into place, giving it a little bit more stability so it's not going to be sliding around as much, and like I said, keeping that tongue free of debris is going to make sure that it helps, that it really digs down in. So I'll keep this updated over, you know, future videos and stuff like that. So if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please consider subscribing to our channel. Click the bell icon for future notifications when we release new content. And please share this with your friends, family, whoever you think that this might actually be interesting for. And as always, thanks for joining us, and God bless.